What would happen? What's the potential? What could happen if you just maxed out your Roth IRA every single year like clockwork? How much would you have? Got that and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. The Roth IRA, how are you using that tool in your financial life? Okay, the benefit is when you're making a contribution into your Roth IRA, you're not getting the tax benefit today. It's not a tax deduction for you. If you can get retirement savers credit, fantastic. It's my favorite credit out there. Most of us can't, okay? So you make that contribution, doesn't help you today. The benefit is in the future. The benefit is tomorrow you, okay? Because even though you don't get to deduct your contributions, all the money inside that Roth IRA is growing tax sheltered, okay? Where dividends, capital gains, buys and sells, that sort of stuff doesn't land on your tax return. So it's invested in growing compound over time, losing at times and then making it up and so on if you have a prudent investment philosophy and an investment approach. But then all of that growth in retirement, once you're age 59 and a half and have had a Roth IRA for 5 years, you can withdraw that growth tax-free. And if you don't spend all the money, your spouse, your kids, your beneficiaries inherit this money tax-free as well. So with all of that benefit being out there in the future, what could happen? What are the possibilities if you just said, I'm going to max my Roth IRA every single year? Take the Stephen Covey rock and pebble and sand analogy where you'd say, listen, this is a rock for me. Yep, I've only got a finite amount of resources, a finite amount of decisions, and every year I'm going to make it one of my highest priorities to max fund my Roth IRA each and every year. I'm going to put that in first, and then all of my other financial decisions will just sort of fit in around that because it's that important. What's the potential? What could you accomplish? All right, say you do that for 30 years. Right now, your contribution limit is $6,000 to the Roth IRA every single year. Now, they're going to increase that, but let's just assume that that's it and that you've got 30 years to save up. Say you're 35 and you're saving until 65. So $6,000 a year for 30 years, you've saved up a total $180,000 into your Roth IRA. What's that worth? If that account on average earns 8% a year, that $180,000 has grown $500,000. It's worth $680,000. That's tremendous. What if you can earn even more than that 8%? What if you can get an average of 10% a year? You're just shy of $1 million, okay? And what if you're not a high risk taker or the stock market doesn't do as well over the next 30 years for some odd reason and you only average 6% a year? You're still just shy of $500,000 all in your Roth IRA tax-free. But we're talking about possibilities here. That's saving for 30 years. What if you're 25 years old? One of the guys I graduated with, he said that when he graduated, his dad told him, max fund your Roth IRA each and every year. We're now in our 40s. He hasn't done it, I don't believe, but pretend that that's you. And at 25, for 40 years, until you're 65, you max funded your Roth IRA. Still at $6,000, assuming they don't increase it, which I know they're going to do. That's what? That's $240,000 that you've contributed in total. If you're able to earn on average 8% on that money, you've got $1.5 million saved up for retirement. $1.5 million in your Roth IRA tax-free. Unbelievable. 10%, if you're able to earn 10%, $2.6 million. Guys, that's incredible in your Roth IRA just by maxing that thing out each and every year. If it only earns 6%, but you're able to do this for 40 years, this is the power of applying the right habit consistently over time, $928,000 in your Roth IRA that you'd be able to draw out tax-free in retirement. Let's expand our thinking, okay? I hope that motivates you. I hope it excites you. But here's the thing. We don't just have Roth IRAs available to us anymore. Most companies offer 401ks, and most 401ks offer a Roth 401k component where you can contribute pre-tax or Roth. So what if you say, I want to do even more than that? I want to do more than what my Roth IRA can do, or what if you can't contribute to a Roth IRA, you're not eligible? Okay, fine. I'm going to fund. What if I max fund my Roth 401k each and every year? Now that's going to take more contribution. You're going to put more in, you should get more out, okay? The contribution limit right now is $20,500 to the Roth 401k each and every year. So again, scenarios. What if you do that for 30 years? Now that's a big commitment. That's a bigger sacrifice, okay? But the payout's going to be bigger as well. If that money can earn 8%, $2.3 million in your Roth 401k, all of that would be tax-free. You would have contributed just over $600,000 for those 30 years, $2.3 million if it can earn 8%. If it can earn 10%, $3.3 million. And even if it only earns 6% on average, still $1.6 million in a Roth 401k that you can draw out tax-free. But that's for 30 years. That's if you're at 35, saving for 30 years till 65. Again, take the approach that I would encourage you. Start right away. At 25, will most people be able to max fund their Roth 401k and do that every year on out? Maybe not. But maybe with this motivation, you'll be able to make that a big rock and commit to that, build everything else around it. 40 years of maxing your Roth 401k. If it can earn 8%, well, your total contribution's over $800,000. So lots of money has gone into this thing over 40 years. But if it can earn 8%, guys, $5 million in a Roth IRA, tax-free for you. You're set. That's it. That's what, I mean, for most of us, that's way more than what you'd need, and you never have to worry about taxes again. If you can earn 10%, now that's just getting ridiculous. $9 million. I mean, that's generation changing finances just by this one decision, okay? And even if the market doesn't do well, or you're concerned about taking risk, or as this money grows, you then start worrying, you want to diversify and take less risk, you only average 6%, still over $3 million that you'd be saving up by maxing your Roth IRA from Roth 401k from age 25 for 40 years. Are you inspired? That's the point of this video. This is how I got hooked. When your money can make money for you just by being patient and doing the right thing consistently, not overthinking it, the right thing consistently over time. So, last thing I'm going to share, and I thought about, well, what about the HSA? We've talked about that a little bit before too, but what if you just did both? What if you earned enough and sacrificed enough so that you max funded your Roth IRA, but also your Roth 401k? If you did that for 30 years and you're able to earn 8%, in total, you'd have contributed $800,000 over that time. If you're able to earn 8%, that's over $3 million, just over $3 million. If you're able to earn 10%, $4.3 million. Again, you're set and you never have to worry about taxes again. Even if you just earn 6%, you're over $2 million that you've saved up. That you've got saved up after contributing for 30 years. But 40 years, if you're able to do it. Now this is a lot of contribution. This is over $1 million total that you've contributed. In exchange, 8%, you're almost $7 million. Almost $7 million. At 10% on average, you're over $11 million. This is, it's one decision. One decision applied consistently every year over time. If it only earns 6%, you're still over $4 million. That's a lot of numbers, okay? It's a lot to digest. What's the takeaway? The takeaway is start early. The takeaway is make one financial decision, great financial decision, apply it consistently over time, rain, snow, good times, bad times, economic boom, economic recession. Consistently apply it and don't overthink. You don't need to hit grand slams with investments in order to achieve this life-changing, generation-changing wealth. Work with your certified financial planner. I've shared with you before that for our nearly 20 CFPs, certified financial planners at the KFG offices, and the thousands of clients that we've served, there's one most common phrase that we hear, and the second is not even close. By far, the most common phrase is, I wish I would have gotten started sooner. I wish I would have gotten started sooner. So start now, wherever you're at. Whether you've got 30 years, whether you've got 40, or whether you've got 20, doesn't matter. Start right now. And if the Roth IRA makes sense for you, because of your overall comprehensive financial plan, the amount of growth, compound growth, that's tax-free, that you could have in your retirement is breathtaking. Work with your certified financial planner, get motivated, get a plan, and get started. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com, that's Korhorn with a K, wisemoneyshow.com, you can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.